evening, everyone. Welcome to the Peach Radio Show. Yes, I am doing something a little different. I am at my desk. But tonight's topic is Black and LGBTQ. Feel free to chime in, comment. I have with me today author Sharice Marie. Say hello.
Hello.
So, yeah, tonight we're going to talk about being Black and LGBTQ, and then Sharice is going to share a little bit about her businesses and what she has going on, and hopefully Delisa can join us. And if you are watching and you would like to join the link, please click the link above is in the caption. You could come right on in, comment. Oh, there go Delisa. Delisa, you are in the black. We can't see you.
Come on in, girl.
I can see a black screen, Delisa.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Is it up here on the pages?
Yeah, that's what I was
Now
looking
I
for.
see a nice D. This moment we see you, Delisa, but we see a D.
Let's
Are
see. I'm gonna
we?
see if I can make sure I share it.
Yeah, see if you could share it because I don't see us up there for some reason. Let me see. Oh, but then I see people looking. Hello, everyone. Can you see us?
It won't let me share it. That's weird. Let me see. Let me just copy it from
Ah.
the page.
All right, I see it. So tonight's topic is Black and LGBTQ. Hi, Lawanda. How are you? How are you? We're just gonna delve in because I guess it's Juneteenth and Pride Month. I wanted to discuss the intersections of being Black and LGBTQ. I wanted us to be very candid. Let's be honest about it, open, and share how we feel. Because obviously we already know what it feels like to be Black in America, to be
Hmm.
Black in any part of the world.
Yeah.
Um, but then when you couple that with being LGBTQ, it becomes just even more discrimination you experience. It becomes harder. It becomes several different things. So yeah, let's talk about it, Sharice. How do you feel about current state of being Black and LGBTQ?
So you know what? It's crazy because I see a lot of differences in the Black LGBT community as opposed to everyone else's LGBT community. I know when I came out, it was you have to be this and you have to only date that. But when I got a chance to see other races and cultures and people out in the community, especially where I'm from in Philly, it was like, well, she's dating a girl that looks like her, more filmish, a feminine film, and she looks more stud and stud. But in the Black community, it's like it has to be film stud. It has to be film stud. So I didn't understand a lot of that when I first came out, um, 20 some years ago.
20
20,
something years ago.
20 some years ago, and they had the labels. It was just general labels, the film or stud slash butch, that was mostly what I knew of. But now they have a
Really?
lot more labels and identities and things. So it has evolved a little bit more because you start to learn a little bit more, and everyone is now becoming who they should be and want to be. But the Black LGBTQ community, whew, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a
What
lot.
do you think, Delisa, about being Black and LGBTQ?
Um, a lot of people say that, it's harder for us because we got two things against us. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like the being black and then being LGBTQ plus. So, but me personally, I love it. I love to be a part of something that, you know, um, We still fighting for a lot of things, but also we are, you know, a lot of us are free spirited. A lot of us are out there doing whatever we want to do in
Yeah,
all different walks of life, and we're becoming more accepted than before.
yeah,
So yeah, that's my con.
Okay.
yeah, just a little bit.
For me, when I think about being black and LGBTQ, um, I look at it as being very layered in the discrimination. I
Mhm.
feel like we are the lowest minority group in America. And I think when you're a woman, it becomes even lower.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
another thing that I feel being black and LGBTQ, especially being a business owner, is that our opportunities are lessened. So if the
Mhm.
black community only has 50%, then we have less than half, less than the 25%.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have to fight with our heterosexual brothers and sisters for those opportunities.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
if it's a black owned business or whatever, we're even mostly going to be locked out of that because they want to give it to the people that are, aren't LGBTQ. And I just feel like it's very hard for us. I feel like we're more susceptible to depression
Hmm.
because there's really no real home for us.
Right.
Even if you have, like, well, you guys met my family. My family is pretty much accepting.
Hmm.
But our families don't dictate the world and we have to go out into it, and it's very hard.
Yeah.
I notice, we gotta kinda keep our head on a swivel when we're in the
Hmm.
community. Like,
Hmm.
I'm sure you understand, y'all two more than me. When you got your wife, do you kinda look at your surroundings before you actually hold your wife hand, or um, do anything that's too endearing because you don't want to offend, and not necessarily offend, but you're just trying to be careful so that no one won't hurt you.
Yeah.
Um, it's like we have to live in the world, but not really in it.
Hmm.
And it's really aggravating.
I,
And when I think about the religion part of it, is it becomes even worse because I don't know about you guys, but in my home and most of the black people that I know, you're raised to be religious. So
hmm
where's the space for us?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
Yeah.
where do we fit?
Yeah. I know when I first came into the life, I never wanted to do PDA at all. So I never did it in any of my previous relationships after seeing a lot of news clips and hearing things on the radio of, you know, someone in our community, getting harmed and hurt because they were walking down the street holding hands and things of that nature. So I never really wanted to do PDA outside at all. But once I got with my wife, things kind of changed because it was like, this is who I am. She's who I'm with. Um, we are together. We are married. Whatever whatever it is, at the time and now. And this is just what it's going to be. And we got to a point where it was like, well, we were protecting one another, but I wanted to make sure that we were in safe surroundings. But we never know when it is safe for us wherever we are because um like I said, it was a big story that happened in Philadelphia, downtown Philly, where a couple was jumped because they were just walking down the street, and I just was like, nope, not
Yeah.
doing PDA. Nope, not doing it.
Yeah,
And I just completely cut it off. It was like I didn't want to hug, I didn't want to kiss, I didn't want to hold hands, I didn't want to do anything. And even when I had friends that would do that, it was like, okay, please don't do that, y'all. Please don't do that. Like, we were out restaurants or straight places, and it's like,
yeah,
who's looking at us? We're not in gay club, was it's not ladies night, so it's like, who's looking and who's this,
Right.
so it's like you had to keep your guard up, But now I'm like, look, don't come over here. Okay. Don't come
Right.
over here. If you come over here, you won't come back. So I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
Um, for me, to be honest, I never cared.
Mhm.
I've always been out. Cause so for me, a lot of my friends were straight when I
Mhm.
was younger, and I came out because I didn't really know a lot of people in the community yet. And I would go to a lot of straight bars and a lot of straight events and stuff like that with my straight friends, but it didn't mean it didn't matter to me. I was going to do what I wanted to do regardless. So, and I
Mm,
still do the same thing to this day. And not saying that, a situation could happen, but to me, I just feel like I'm going to be who I am and nobody's going to make me be any other way.
Mhm.
So if I want to hold my wife's hand, if I want to give her a kiss goodbye or whatever, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
But the only thing I can say that I kind of, didn't do too much was in the workplace. I didn't
yeah.
tell people, oh, yeah, my girlfriend or anything, even if like the person I was with at the time maybe have brought food to me at my job, I still wouldn't mention. But over the course of maybe like 10 years, I got to that point where I didn't care either. It's either you going to accept me or not. Like, I didn't feel like, because I felt like I was hiding myself
Yeah.
at these jobs. And I felt like I didn't need to. I am who I am. And so, like I said, in the course of 10 years, I would, my girlfriend or my wife or whatever, my fiance, or she's coming to bring me something, it would be that. I wouldn't get into details about my relationship. I wouldn't do any of that. But I was out in the open. But yeah, I
Yeah.
never really cared about anywhere I went with the person I was with out in the open, kissing, holding hands, whatever I did. I did One thing I did do was be respectful in front of children, though, in that
Yeah.
aspect.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
was just
Yeah,
out and
but
outside.
how do you differentiate? I know for me with my career being a nurse, it's hard to differentiate what could be the possibility of someone wanting to treat you a terrible way or in a biased way
Yeah.
because you are black and you are LGBTQ. You can't really tell what the real issue is.
Mhm.
And so you can't hide your blackness, but for
Right.
me I do hide the LGBT piece, and it's not necessarily hot. Not I'm not hiding. I just don't talk about my personal life because I don't feel like it's anyone's business. And I
Mhm.
work actually in home care, and I know my LGBT status would probably be an issue.
Mhm.
Is I've already lost cases because I was black.
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone knows this, but families can deny you. They can
Mhm.
tell an agency that they don't want you there
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
Yep.
of you being African American.
Mhm.
Um I prefer a white person, or I prefer a Hispanic person, or I prefer that. But then imagine you can be prefer they can prefer all of that or want you and don't matter, based off race, but then they find out you're LGBTQ. That really just puts you really behind the eight ball because
Mhm.
maybe they could have worked with you because
Yeah.
you were black. So, that's another one of those things when it comes to having both of those titles where
Mhm.
you could run into issues, and not to mention, in the administration part, you know, I often wonder about the raises because I know that some of my Caucasian friends actually get higher raises.
Mm.
We'll have these
Mhm.
conversations,
Yeah.
and I've had to actually call up to the director and say, "Well, hey, you don't want to be that way, but such and such and such, we've been on this case together." And
Mhm.
they have a higher raise, and I've been here long. I'm not understanding, but
Right.
yet I'm the go-to person.
Yeah.
So And I know that this particular family knows who I am as a person, both
Mhm.
labels, black, LGBTQ.
Right.
So it just kind of, and you don't know the conversations. It's
Right.
like,
Mhm.
yeah, what is the reason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, So again, being black, LGBTQ, and then being a woman,
Hmm.
it's a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Even with us running a nonprofit,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like people don't take us serious, because black, LGBTQ,
Yeah.
and then we're woman heavy.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm glad you guys are on here because I really, like I said, I wanted everyone to, and people that's watching, please share. I want you guys to share your experience because there are many people that's watching that may, need to hear it.
Hmm.
Maybe need to change some stuff. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to impart in to my Caucasian friends, right? Please don't compare the LGBTQ experience with being black. I have seen so many posts from friends that are white that compare
Yeah.
their orientation to what we went through as black people. There
Black
is
people.
no
Hmm.
comparison.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm
I
not
know.
trying to say that it is with us being black and LGBTQ. I'm just saying it's just a added experience.
Yeah.
It makes it even more difficult. It takes
Yeah.
us out of our own community, which I find
Yep.
strange.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know. Have now tell me, you guys, have you ever heard someone? Because again, I be in many rooms and spaces, right? And I've heard some of the wildest shit because I guess you could say all three of us will be considered stealth, whatever our orientations are, because you can't look at us and tell who we are.
Hmm.
So y'all
Mhm.
probably hear all kinds of stuff.
Mm.
Have you
Yep.
ever heard someone say, well, the LGBT people shouldn't fight for what they want. They should fight for being black because you're black first. How do
Right.
y'all feel about that?
I guess because people see when they first see you, it's like everyone leads and sees race first.
Mhm.
So when they finally get a chance to know or hear you say anything about being lesbian and everything, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, it's it's
That's
like,
always the
okay, now
reaction.
it's like, you went from woman to black to lesbian. It's like, no, I'm a woman.
Mhm.
How about, you just say, I'm a mother, I'm a wife. Don't lead with me being lesbian, don't lead with me being black. I am just a woman, period. So hearing that is like, it's funny, but I don't know. It's kind of weird because, like you said, a lot of people try to do the black civil rights thing, our rights, and then, the gay rights and things. It's like, well, which one do you want to fight for? It's like, I really don't want to fight at all. I just want to be able to have and be and live, and
Right.
that's it. Just me. I shouldn't have to,
Mhm.
fight to, hopefully be praying that it's not going to come, but, you know, it's coming. Fight to figure out how it's going, work out with my wife if something happens down the line, like what just happened recently, you know. Um, what's that state going to be?
Mhm.
I have to turn around and fight for our marriage, So that is it's a lot of fighting going on that doesn't really
Right.
need to happen. In my opinion, it just doesn't need to happen. For what?
And meaning that we have to fight. I'm going to fight for both because that's me. That's who I am. I am black and I am lesbian. So therefore, I'm going to fight for both. I don't
Yeah,
care what the other folks they think or think I should and shouldn't do. At the end of the day, that's what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for both.
yeah,
Um, And I don't think anybody should be able to dictate and tell me what I can and cannot fight for just because I am black. Okay, well, you need the fight for, no, I'm going to fight for both. You're not going to dictate to me. And then, as P was saying, in a conversation with them, not knowing that I'm lesbian, and then that conversation coming up and them saying, well, oh yeah, this needs to happen and this needs to happen. They need to do one or the other. Well, nope. I'm they, and I'm doing both.
Mhm. Yes.
It's just, I just feel like it just, to me, I feel like it just needs to be out in the open. Like, we got to open up our mouths and let people know we're not going to stand for the disrespect. We're not going to stand for the discrimination,
Mhm.
you know, in that aspect. I am who I am, and that's it. And there's things that needs to change. So yes, I'm going to fight for both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, but could you really? Because I don't know if you guys remember anything on the news about the George Floyd riots and things that were going on with that. Now, for us,
Mhm.
like I said in the beginning, we're
Mhm.
kind of stealth. Unless we shout from the mountaintops, I'm LGBTQ, no one will know.
Mhm.
But the
Mhm.
visibly LGBTQ, can you really be in a black movement and be LGBTQ? Now, from the George Floyd riots, a lot of people that were visibly LGBTQ were beaten and
Mhm.
um, mistreated trying to be out there. So
Yeah.
that's why I was like, can you really be that? Can you really
Right.
get out there on the front lines and fight for being black? And if
Right.
so, where does that leave?
Yeah.
Of course they'll probably fight away the visible LGBTQ, but what about us stealth helping people,
Mhm.
helping the black community to gain these rights and stuff? Where does that leave us? Do we believe that once we obtain these things that we want, equal rights, equal pay,
Mhm.
that the community will turn around and say, well, let's reach back to the LGBTQ people? Do we
Right.
really believe that?
Yeah.
So in
Mm.
my mind, I feel like that our community, black people, they force us to be LGBTQ first. I feel like once you are ousted as being in the community, you are no longer black.
Right.
I was
Mhm.
in a side conversation. I was in a conversation, right? That wasn't meant for me to hear.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it was about loans. It was about grants for minority groups. And so the person asked, well, wow, if this is grants for the minority groups, then maybe we should hit up some LGBTQ organization. And the black person said, no, we need to think about our people first. And
Mm.
to hear that,
Mhm.
that means that you don't consider
Yeah.
black LGBTQ people as your brother
People.
and sister. You don't
Mhm.
consider us a part of the race.
Yeah.
It's like once we came out, that was it. We're not black, we're not white, we're no nationality. We're something, we're aliens outside of the community.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I agree with what you guys say, but I understand it. Let's just say that I understand, but I feel like our community forces us to choose our orientation first.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. That's true.
And it's not fair. It's
Yeah.
It's not.
truly not fair.
It's a separation.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
is. And again, like I said, I be in different rooms and you be surprised. You be really surprised.
At the things you hear.
Um,
Mhm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing about our community, again, religion being the top number one reason why we can't really do anything. And I find it fascinating that religion is even an issue. I just to go back to being black, the religion that we carry is through slavery.
Yeah.
So I can't understand how we live and die by it. We
Mhm.
live and die by it, and we judge the LGBT community based off of that. It's just
Right.
we oppressed.
Right.
We were oppressed by the Bible, and then we turn around and oppress other marginalized groups using the Bible,
Yep.
which is
Hmm.
so strange.
Yeah.
Because that's a
It's
lot of
so
the reason why
strange.
we're not accepted because of the Bible.
Yep.
That's a lot of the reasons why people think it's wrong
Hmm.
because they're going by what the Bible said.
Yeah.
And half of that really isn't saying what they think it's saying when it comes to us,
Hmm.
but with them reading it and with some of the, maybe the pastors or whoever's preaching it may bring it out in that way that it is, we're not with it is bad or whatever the situation may be. So yeah, a lot of the reason why we're not accepted in the black community I would say is because of the Bible and the way the teachings are when it comes
Yeah,
to the religion.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a big reason why a lot of us in the community won't go to church and things of that nature because they're afraid to be outed and things like that. So it's like certain churches are now up and coming. Like you see a lot of the Unitarian churches or the non-denominational ones where they don't preach, hate and things of that nature. So it's like, come on out, come on down. It's like, nope, I don't. They. It's like once they hear about church, it's like, nope, they don't want to go to church. Any a lot
Yeah.
of my LGBTQ friends, they're like, nope, church is not for me.
well,
So I mean, and even though they were raised in it, it's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not accepted there, and I'm not wanted. And I totally get it because I've been to a lot of them, and it's like, okay, let's try out this new church. And the minute I sat down, and the sermon was good, and out the
Mhm.
clear blue was like, a man shouldn't be with a man, and I was like, did he know we was coming today? Wait a minute, like you just picked today to talk about? Oh no, we can't come back here. So yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, we're not going to that church now. So let's find a church that is accepting of
Yeah.
of us, and
yeah,
yeah.
I think
yeah.
that's the
It's
issue I've definitely had because I grew up in a church.
Hmm.
Um and on both sides of the family, they're churchgoers, we believe in the Bible, believe God and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So that's a fight that
Yeah.
I can say actually to this day that I'm going back and forth with as we speak. It's
Yeah.
hard. And I haven't really had an issue with any church that I've went to, even with my wife. We only went, I think, to two in New York. We didn't really have an issue, but that's I'm learning more. I'm learning more, and I'm still learning to try to figure out, so I can know for myself. Um,
right,
but like I said, that's a fight that I have that I'm going through. Like I'm going to be who I am, but I want to know what's real. You know what I'm saying? Because you grow up
right.
a certain way, you grow up believing a certain thing. I believe in God. I believe He's real. I believe all of that.
Yeah.
But on the other aspect, it's the Bible is where I'm having the issue.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, I'm still learning. Like I said, I'm still learning. Like I said, with me growing up in the church, I was one of them ones that went to church Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So,
Oh
I,
wow,
yeah, I was in church like 3, 4 days a week.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
wow.
So
I can see
it's
why.
yeah, it's a fight for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I still believe in God and everything like that. That hasn't changed. But
Yeah.
like with me, with the teachings in the Bible and things like that, I'm still learning. I'm still
Yeah.
learning, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
gonna be a task.
Yeah.
But
yeah. To me, the Bible is like double oppression. It's
mhm,
I don't see myself as a black person, and then I really don't see myself as an upstanding person, as a black person in the Bible. I see myself as being a slave or a sinner that was trying to stop, who was it, Moses? Sinner, or I'm a slave. And then
Mm-hmm.
when
Right.
it comes to the other aspect of me being who I am, LGBTQ, I shouldn't even exist. I'm an abomination. I need some type of conversion therapy
Mm-hmm.
and all of that stuff. So again, that's another one of those intersectional things when you're black and LGBTQ.
Yep.
This Bible, and then you
Yeah.
have, again, back to the community. Of course, you have racist people that don't want to deal with you, and you can't force that. That's fine, and systems against you. But then you have your race treating you in a biased way. So it's just compounded, and then you add religion that gives them ammunition. So you
Mm,
can't even. Church is traditionally supposed to be a safe space, and it's not even
right.
a safe haven and space for us. It's so
Right.
wow. It's really, I mean, I don't think people think about the levels of what we go through. We got so accustomed to it that
Yeah.
we don't even realize. I think we forget the levels of what goes
Hmm.
on with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The safe spaces for regular black heterosexual people aren't our safe spaces. It's
Right.
sad. I had a family that was looking for a place to stay, um, that had called the org, and the first thought that came to my mind is, what shelter is going to accept a LGBTQ
Mm,
person? What shelter is safe?
yeah.
Mm,
And that's sad. When you're a black person only, you can call a shelter and say, I
Yeah.
need a safe space for me and my family, a bed, a hot, and a cot. But
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
when you're LGBTQ, you have to be a little bit more specific. You have to call and be direct and say, listen, am I going to be safe there? Is it a space? Uh, I would ask, is there a LGBT section of the the shelter?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How many
Right.
beds are designated for us?
Yeah.
What
Hmm.
are you going to do to make sure I'm protected?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Mm-hmm.
even if you get in there, you still have to worry about the religious zealots, or the fake religious zealots. If you have family with children, because people do devious and sly stuff to you. So it's just always, you got to be on the swivel when
Mm-hmm.
you us. It's just a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we don't have access. Here's another compounded thing. We don't even have access as black people to the same funds to open these facilities as
Mm-mm.
our white counterparts. And then if you're
Oh,
LGBTQ, it makes it even worse.
Yep. Yep.
It's like we're fighting for the crumbs of the
The
crumbs.
crumbs of the crumbs. Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wait, how you
is
share this? I want to share. Where do I click on?
you can share it on Facebook. Just share the
I just copied it and did it. Yeah.
What link?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh, the link that you sent us in the messenger.
No, just go to your Facebook, go to Plug Studio Network and hit the share button.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
For
Yeah.
those of you watching, I do see your comments. Please comment again, or come on to the live and just share your experiences. I've given some, Sharice has, Delisa has. I'm sure as many more experiences. I could tell you, even when I was trying to get a divorce lawyer, I had an issue. The
Mm.
first issue, I was black, and I've had plenty of lawyers that would say, you people, and immediately when you say you people, I take my money and leave, because I'm not going to give you $500 an hour to say you people.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
when I
Yeah.
finally found somebody that stopped saying you people, and we got further into the case, she said, oh man, we got to get a specific judge that's going to be more
Wow.
lenient towards you. And I said, why? Because you have a girlfriend. You have a lesbian relationship, and I'm like, well, hold on. She done did two things. She didn't even ask me what my orientation was. You done assumed that I'm a lesbian. And then
Mhm.
you made me feel bad about being such by telling me that it's a possibility I won't win my case.
Right.
So not only have I gone through several lawyers and then I'm trusting you because you didn't mistreat me for being black,
Hmm.
you found something else to make me feel bad.
Yep.
But I'm
Mm.
stronger and luckily I won and I won the things that I wanted out of the case, but I shouldn't have had that experience. Why do I need a
Right.
special lawyer?
To fight that hard.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm.
$500 an hour for you to
Yeah.
tell me we got to figure out how to get you a different law, different judge.
Mm.
Judge.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah, these are for the people that's watching. These are some of the things that we experience, and for my, trans brothers and sisters, they are. We think we just when you think we got the crumb of the crumbs, they got the
Mm.
crumb of the crumb of the crumb of the crumbs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just that bad. So the opportunities that we would get 50% black people, 50% LGBTQ, less than 25%. So then you looking at the trans community and all the other identities probably getting less than 10%. And then they
Hmm.
ask, why are these people prostitutes and doing all these other
This
things
way.
that could get them
Yeah.
locked up?
Yeah.
It's because of how our communities treat us, the greater community, and then our subsection,
Hmm.
the black portion. And then we didn't even get to the part of how we treat one another
Yep.
when we get
Yep.
into positions.
Yeah. 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 I think that was one of the reasons why I had joined IME, because I said us bringing unity and coming together. I'm like, we have to come together with each other first,
Hmm.
and support one another, because that was one of the biggest things that I saw in the Black LGBT community, especially in Philly. Where I'm from, it's like the lesbians against this one, or the bi against that one, trans
Hmm.
against this one, and it's like, how are we all against each other? Like, we should all be fighting together to fight against all the ones that's against
Right.
us. We need to come
Exactly.
together bigger and better and greater,
Hmm.
and fight the ones that's trying to fight us.
It's by
It's a lot
design.
you see, and even seeing it in like I said, in relationships. I have a lot of friends that are film stud, and it's like, oh my god, like stud film. It's like, no. I'm like, but they're in a relationship, like they're stud
Right.
film. Like, what is the problem? But yeah, it's like we fight each other a lot, and that's one of the things that we have to do collectively, is all come together in the white, the black, the Hispanic, the Asian. All of us need to come together under that LGBTQIA plus community, and fight against those that's fighting against us, not us fighting against each other. So that was a
Hmm.
lot that I used to see, getting into the community. It was like, wow, it just
Yeah.
doesn't look right to you. So you just like, oh no,
But is
you
it
sound like
beneficial for
them.
them?
It's like you start to sound like
Yeah.
them. So
Yeah, but do you think it's beneficial for other races? I wonder if they have the same experience as we have.
I don't think so, because I have white LGBTQ friends, and they all can be, they don't, some of them don't even have labels. Some of them don't have
Yeah.
labels. I have some that are, they would appear to look butch, butch and the butch. But in the black community, it's like, oh my God, a butch and a butch. But in the white community, it's oh, okay.
That's it.
But
It's not
yeah,
really, yeah, the
yeah,
labels aren't pushed as much as in the
right,
black community.
yeah.
And if you,
So, do their are they accepted it in their greater community? Like, do you think they have a better experience? The white Caucasian community accepts their LGBT brothers and sisters more than our
mm,
community.
I would
hmm,
say in most cases that I've seen, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think in the cases I've seen coming from Pittsburgh, a little bit of both.
Mm,
I've seen a little bit of both to where they aren't accepted, and then there's some that just like they don't care. They are accepted. So I've
mhm.
seen a little bit of both in certain situations.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I can't say that to for me for what I've seen that it's all been they've all been accepted by their community.
Mm. See, Philly was
Yeah.
so open with everything. It's
Yeah.
so much different in Philly. Like we can go, like I said, down to a lot of the, you know, Philly events that they have, and it's a okay. It's all fine. You'll see this one with that one and that one with this
Hmm.
one. It's no issue, no problem. But it's like as soon as you see a black person do the same thing, someone in the black LGBT community, it's like, it's like, well,
Yeah.
what is the problem? Like, did you see a bear run by? Like, what is the
Right.
problem? But I think that they are a lot more accepting, a little bit more. I say in Philly. I
Yeah.
haven't seen too much of, of course, with Delaware because most of everything's been pandemic-ish, so we haven't been able
Mhm.
to, get out and see much. But yeah, I haven't seen that type of a whole lot of that in Philly. No, no.
You know what? When I try to compare our experience with our community to other communities, I often reflect on like cancel culture. I
Mm,
notice that our community, we can have a thriving LGBTQ person, and then we'll try to use that cancel culture to get them out of there because we think it's a bad representation of being black. But
yeah.
then when I look at white cultures, I don't see them doing that. I see them letting the person be great.
Hmm.
Yeah. Supportive.
So
Yeah.
it makes me, that alone makes me wonder, if something needed to be done that was a race based situation, that they would more likely band together
Hmm.
and do what they need to do. But I don't feel like being black that would be the case for us. I think,
Right.
the heterosexual blacks would band together and they would oust us out the movement unless they needed us. They absolutely needed us for something.
Hmm.
You know, so that I just kind of look at like cancel culture is as a reflection of just our relationships with one another. Like, I don't know if you guys watch BET, that BET awards, but prior to that, Little Nas X wasn't, it was something about Little Nas X not being able to perform at all these things.
Hmm.
And all of this is because he's LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Never mind him lap dancing on the devil and all that. It's his orientation.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
mainly the black community. You know,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
When I heard that they had did like a pride, you know, showcase or whatever, I was shocked to hear that. I mean, because I think Billy Porter was there last year or so. I haven't watched it in, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. But I saw the clips of everything, and I just was like, well, why was Little Nas X not there? But I had already previously heard that he was very upset about not being there and not being nominated and all these things. I don't, like I said, I don't know if he has been nominated because I didn't watch it, but this is what I had heard previously to um, the awards coming on. But he had some top key songs that was probably
Right.
over a lot of other people. So it
Yeah.
was kind of weird hearing that, but
Yeah.
It is weird. But then
yeah,
you'll see Megan Thee Stallion, people that appropriated our culture and our scene at these same awards doing and
Mm,
representing and carrying themselves the way
mhm,
that our icons would be.
right,
mm,
So it's
right,
again, it's you don't like us because of who we are, but
mhm.
you take bits and pieces of us, and but you
mhm,
Yeah.
don't want us a part of the community. That's why, again, I'll say it again. I get offended when people try to make me choose, and I'm like, well, you act like I have a choice to choose between being my orientation and being
mhm.
my color, because you automatically oust me out anyway.
Yeah.
You could do that to a millionaire. You can see that on the local level how they treat us.
Mhm. I
Mhm.
think it's a gender thing too because if I'm not mistaken, I heard about it last year where it was her and Cardi got up there doing their thing for
Mhm.
their
Yeah.
major
Yeah.
song.
The men,
Yeah,
they don't
the
want
men
it
is
out
like
there like that.
yeah, it's like the men. Oh no, but
Yeah.
from what I heard, and I think I saw clips. I think it was last year. Or I think it was last year, and her and Cardi got up there and did their thing, and everybody was like, "Well, this was okay for your children to sit and watch this."
Mhm.
It was okay for them to be gyrating all over the stage. It was a okay.
Right.
But
And they
now here we go
wanna
this year.
they want us to be, classy and all of that. But when it's heterosexual, they don't care. They could be ratchet as they want to be and everything. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But when it comes to us, nah, you can't do that. No, you
Can't do
can't do this.
this.
You
Hmm.
limited to this. But it's not right. It's not
Yeah.
right. And if I'm correct, BET has been coming on in June for years.
Hmm.
The
Yep.
first time that they've ever done anything for Pride in this
Ever.
capacity.
Ever.
Um, so I don't know what that was about. I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to, because that's what's in. Maybe that's
Hmm.
why they're
Because of
trying to do it
pose.
now. Yeah,
Right.
that's what's in because um yeah, I ain't never
Yeah.
I ain't never seen
It's funny because
in.
I went past the station. I think it was yesterday or day before, and they actually have Noah's Ark first season playing. They played it all day yesterday, and
Mhm.
it's funny because I mean we talking that show is like what
Yeah.
17 years old,
Yeah.
and they
Oh, the
decided to
old
play
one.
that Noah's Ark,
The old episodes they were playing.
the
Yes.
very first
Yep.
season of Noah's Ark, which came out I
Oh
think I
my
want to say around
God.
2005 or so, 5 or 6,
Yeah.
and they played the entire season yesterday. They played the
Mhm.
entire season yesterday because
But
we
a
turned
lot of
like
them,
what on
a lot of
BET.
the TV stations were doing that this month,
Mm-hmm.
playing a lot. So I guess they wanted to jump on the bandwagon
Yep.
because a lot of the TV stations were playing,
Mhm.
having a lot of pride stuff. They had like a rainbow emblem with the
Yeah,
flag on
yeah.
their stations,
Hmm.
different things like that. So
Yeah, yeah. I guess because
yeah.
that was like the biggest black gay show for a lot of us that came out
Mm.
back at that time. That's, I mean, and I was happy to see that they had it on and everything. But that show is
I
like
feel
what I
like we need
66.
more.
Yeah, it's like
We
16,
need
17 years
more
old.
of
And
those type of shows
yeah, yeah,
um to come on because they have the what is the station that plays like because it has like
Logo.
yeah,
yeah,
logo.
that's
Hmm.
supposed to be, but I never see nothing really on there except for RuPaul's Drag Race, and it's
I
never
stopped
really
watching.
nothing else really on here.
I stopped
Like, what
watching it
is the
because of that.
station for?
I haven't seen it since
Acceptable.
I Noah's Ark. That's
Yeah,
why, because they don't play a whole lot of LGBT stuff, and it logo is
no,
supposed to be specific to LGBT, and
yeah,
it's really not. I stopped
no.
watching it when Noah's Ark stopped. That's when I stopped watching it.
Listen, I
Yeah.
seen them old shows, them old black and white shows come on that channel. And I'm like, what
Mhm.
in the heck is going on here?
Yeah. And you sitting there, you watching like, oh my God, is it a lesbian episode? Is it
No,
two gay guys? It's like, is it a trans
regular.
coming out?
I'm like, okay,
And
what
you
is
sit
the
there
point of
watching the
this
nothing.
station?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did y'all
RuPaul
notice?
drag races keeping them in business.
That's it.
Did you did you notice that like figure black LGBTQ figures have to be a specific kind of character, but
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
white
Mm-hmm.
LGBTQ people can be
Whatever.
outlandish. They could do the
Yep.
reads. They could do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I the only person that's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, of
That's
all
true.
people to do the Pride piece at BET, they picked Billy Porter,
Billy
the
Porter.
safe
Mm-hmm.
LGBTQ person, instead
Yeah.
of trying to find someone from the ballroom scene that's really a part of the
Right.
culture because they can't contain that.
Or instead of just
Mhm.
bringing out Little Nas X, making it real
Right.
epic.
Yeah.
Making it real epic. Bring him. He is big. Bring him out
Yeah.
and show off. But
See, and
yeah,
yeah, that's
like you said,
color
they want the
is,
safe one.
yeah, it's again, I think that has to do with color
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
orientation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
sad. It's sad. What
Yeah.
do
I mean,
you
even the little
guys
clip that
think
I seen, there
about?
wasn't a whole lot. What did they do? They just
No, it
went around the
wasn't. They
stage, I
just
think it
walked
was.
out. Yes. It
Yeah.
was sort of like, okay, let's do something and get it over with.
Yeah.
Let's have Mother Shannon come out and walk around and have Billy Porter with this weird ass outfit. I
Yeah.
didn't understand
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
ensemble. It was just so, it was fucking
Yeah.
weird to me. Like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing, because I think they were trying to create the ballroom scene, which I
Mm-hmm.
get it. But what about there's a whole lot of other LGBTQ stuff. It ain't just ballroom.
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, I get it. That's what y'all put out there, okay? But y'all could have added something else to it.
They
Something.
could have brought out Little Nas X. Okay.
Right.
If he came through
Young
with
and
that,
May,
that country song,
somebody.
everybody was singing that country song, Ride, whatever it was called,
Yeah.
whatever it was, Horse Ride, whatever. The kids know it, whatever. Everybody
Right.
knew that song. And then when he came out gay, it was like, oh my gosh, and I like this song. And it was a
Yeah,
good
he's
song. And oh my
gay.
gosh, she's gay.
It was the
But
end of
you
the
like the
world.
song.
Do
And
y'all
Yeah.
then they
remember the
put
time when we were younger where there was like the rumor of the gay rapper, but it would
mm-hmm.
have been death of that person's career if we ever figured it out? I didn't
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like that time. It was
Yeah.
sad because it it kind of made you feel like secrecy was the way to be able to do anything real out here in society.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I still haven't figured out who that gay rapper is. So if y'all know,
Right.
could y'all tell me? Because I never figured it out.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
because to me, everyone, I mean, let's be realistic. You have gay fashion designers that was dressing these
Mm-hmm.
people and
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
writing songs and things like that. So you really couldn't tell because everything about you had already looked like it came from the culture anyway.
Right.
So
Right.
who was the gay rapper? Or
Yeah.
Right.
who?
Yeah.
So, and you
I
know,
definitely believe we came a long way from that secrecy. I mean, it's still there, but I think
Mhm.
we've came a long way from that. It's a
Yeah.
lot more open
And what it
than it
was.
was back in the day, I think.
yeah. But for us as black and LGBTQ, we still have farther to go. Because, when
Mhm.
I look at our images on the screen, you'll see the white man just being gay with a
Mhm.
family. The black man is always the down low
Mm-hmm.
Right.
brother
Yep.
in the movie
Yep.
that's fucking up everything and giving
Mhm.
his wife AIDS and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
just the imagery of it all.
Yeah.
But then you'll have the white guy with a whole family. What is that show too? The white dude and they had a
Oh,
kid and
I forget the show. It's the heavy set guy and the skinny guy.
yes, but we
Yeah.
don't have anything like
We don't
that
have nothing.
to
There. That's
show
what I
us
said.
normal.
Nope. Nothing.
I can
Nothing.
tell you, my wife hates the what is it, the HIV commercials. She
Mhm.
hates when they come on, she's like, I hate these commercials. I hate these commercials because every single one of those commercials, it's a black
Minorities.
gay
Yep.
guy. The
Yep.
majority of them. Then we started seeing a few where it was like a white man and his man, and she's like, "But why everybody got to be gay?" And
Right.
I'm like,
Exactly.
"Baby,
And
you
that's
need to write them."
mostly what they put on those commercials. All gay people. Yep.
Yes. She
Yep.
hates those commercials. She's like, why do they have to be black? And then when it was like a mixed thing, she's like, well, why they all got to be gay? And I'm like,
Right.
but it's commercial after commercial. If you watch each one of
Yep.
them,
Yep.
they they
It's all gay
appear to
men.
Yeah.
Yep.
be gay. So
Now, when you
she
think
hates
of what is it, Bet Porter on the L word, for her to be
that.
valid,
Yeah,
she had to be a high powered, what was she, a
I think a
lawyer or
lawyer.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her wife was white. She couldn't be a
Yeah.
high
hmm
powered lawyer with a
hmm
black
Nope.
woman. It's just the imagery.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's even in Noah's Ark. What was the guy? Is his name Noah, the black
Noah.
dude?
Noah. Yeah.
Yeah. Noah.
He was
Yep.
always
Yeah.
in weird relationships, and
hmm
it's just like
Yeah.
it's and they weren't really he really didn't have too much money, like what was the white guy on the L word that was screwing everybody. He had all the money. No, he was
Right.
on, what is it, Queer as Folk. He
Oh,
had
okay.
all the
Oh,
money.
okay.
He was doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
hmm
No one ever looked at him any kind of way. Then you think about Shane.
Yep.
Shane was doing all kinds of stuff.
And doing all the women.
Yep.
Everyone
Yep.
loved Shane.
Yep.
Yes.
But
Yep.
if
They
it would have
they
been us, it would have been a low down. The movie would have been called Low Down Dirty Shame
hmm
right.
Lesbian.
Right.
Get rid of them. Off with their
They
head.
have them. They have you know us as so unstable with
hmm
a family, without a family,
Yes.
girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. They have us so unstable. But a lot of those characters were unstable, but it was okay
Yep.
because they were white. It was
Yes.
okay for them to be unstable. It was okay for them to be on drugs and have his nervous breakdowns and going to being in the hospital and sleeping with all these people and everything like that. That was okay. But if it was a black person in that aspect, it would have been the end of the world. You
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Or either, another one, they show us prostitutes, and then the one where we're always reading.
hmm
Oh,
Mhm.
nah.
Mhm.
They always show us like that.
Doing that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
we just, it's, again, be it LGBTQ and black, it seems like
hmm
to me a grand conspiracy to make us look bad, being it where, imagery is a big thing. And I
Mhm.
think if I was coming from another culture and I was struggling to understand and I saw all of these different depictions, I would look at the black scene like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this, I don't want to have anything to do with that scene. And then
Yeah.
you look at it as black, you like, and this is what messes me up, because black people, a lot of us are dysfunctional. We have
Yeah.
some upstanding people, but it's always the dysfunctional ones. Be like, oh, ew,
Right.
I
Yep.
can't deal with it. Look at them.
hmm
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And I feel
So
like every culture got dysfunctional.
Every
Everybody. It ain't
every
just us.
yes,
every.
A lot of families, a lot of people, a lot of different cultures got dysfunction. But
hmm
they try to put us out there way more than everybody else.
Yep.
theirs is packaged
Yeah.
better. Ours is not packaged good like theirs. See, look,
Mhm.
they're rich and dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Right.
We're poor prostitutes, or
Mhm.
either poor users that's on a
hmm
down low, that's dysfunctional.
Yeah.
We're that
Yep.
dishonest, untrustworthy, dysfunctional
Yeah.
on TV.
Yeah.
So it's just, again, I think that has a lot to do with the color, and then the orientation piece is just what it is,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to make us look bad. But then I think we just kill ourselves off. The black community just finishes us off. It's like, let's just finish them all the way off. But Let's
Yeah.
talk about Sharice has a book. Your book is does it have anything about being LGBTQ that redeems us?
Well, the first, well, pretty much because the first and second one, they're my autobiographies. Pushing through, and then pushing through life after the storm. I basically it's my life, so it is definitely LGBT all up in it because it speaks about my life. I talk about coming out to my family, of course, getting married to my wife. Um, and being with somebody of a different race on top of that. So that was a big thing. Um, and I talk about being in, relationships with other partners and things that I was with and the things that went on in my life at the time. But yeah, I definitely talk about all of my LGBTness all up in all of my book. I let it be known. And the crazy part is that when people come to me and they, want to learn about my book and learn about, what it's about and all this other stuff, I talk about the major points in the book, which is, me losing the twins, becoming, suicidal, and, losing my faith in God. And most people will go and they'll read that and everything. But I haven't had anybody come to me and say, oh, you was with a woman and you did this and you went through that. I haven't had that as of yet, which I'm sure somebody probably put it on some other site like this book is
This is
nice.
a gay book.
Some gay
Right.
stuff. So yeah, but I talk about, the partner that I was with when we, lost the twins and how our relationship went with that whole situation in the first book. And then like I said in the second one, I talk about dealing with exes because the black LGBT community is so small, especially in Philly, especially in Philly. So it was like, when my wife and I got together, it was like, oh my God, you're dating somebody I used to date. Okay,
Ooh,
good point.
Lord.
So yeah, I told all the juicy secrets.
Yeah.
Then we got journals for our LGBT friends. I'm telling y'all, I got rainbow, boom, got it. All my LGBT friends. Yes, I cater to us because when my wife and I got married, we were looking for books to write our love story and the wedding stuff. We wanted to jot down all the wedding stuff, every wedding anniversary, and everything we found was either a straight couple or a white couple. So I said, okay, well,
Oh,
let's just make
wow.
our own, and that's what we did. We made our own. So, yep.
See,
We
you just pointed out something we didn't discuss. We don't even have representation in books like that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I made it very, very, general, like I said, because it has, like, even when you go through your love story and everything is rainbowed out. And then I
Wow.
have it where it's partner A and partner B. It doesn't say him or her. It's completely just
Right.
what partner A's answer
Mm.
is, what partner B's answer is, pictures of y'all, whatever the situation is. Yeah, it's none of them are, he or she, or yeah, there's
Okay.
not he or she in any of it at all. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
All right, Delisa, tell
yeah.
everybody what they can get from you if they support your LGBTQ business.
I sell jewelry. I make jewelry. I sell well, I make jewelry. I make beaded jewelry. I make all types of stuff. I make beaded jewelry. I make nameplate sets. I make necklaces. I make earrings. And then also I sell gold filled jewelry, which I get from a vendor. I actually just made four necklaces for somebody. I can't. I don't want to mess her name up, so I'm not gonna say it. But um, for a pride event. So I made some pride necklaces for
Wow.
her. So I do make pride jewelry, LGBTQ jewelry. I do make that. So yeah, that's really what it is. I do custom pieces. I like to do custom pieces because that's for that specific person. Nobody else is going to have the same thing that you have. Whether it's pride jewelry, whether it's charm bracelets, whatever it is that that customer wants. I like to get those orders in because it, first of all, it helps me step out my box. And
Yeah.
then, you know, like I said, it's personal to them. It's something for just that specific person. But yeah, that's basically it. What I do.
Well, we all do so much.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
We all do so much.
Yes. Yes.
So
But
true.
we
To the LGBTQ businesses.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think that, as far as just from us having this conversation tonight, I am me. We should consider having some type of bridge event or something that will bring the black heterosexual community together with the LGBT community and having a real conversation
Hmm.
because we said a lot, like, and there's
Yeah.
so much more we didn't say,
Yeah.
and we need to bridge the gap and come together and at least get us at the 50% mark. I mean, I don't want to be at the 15% of opportunities and acceptance and all this stuff. Could we at least just bond together as black people and get to the 50% mark, and then once we work ourselves out, we can go and try to fight for more things? Because
Hmm.
I don't know about y'all, I am personally in fear,
Yeah.
with this Roe versus Wade. I don't know where that's going to take us. Are
Yeah.
they going to challenge the Board of Education Bill's rights? Are they going to try to challenge other liberties that we have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to take all of us together. And I am afraid that myself and my significant other will not really be able to be in that fight because we might get hurt
Yeah.
Yeah.
trying to be in it. And
Hmm.
the sad part about it is, in this space of wanting to help and be in these movements, there are going to
Yeah.
be multiple faces. It's going to be white faces that I got to worry about. It's going to be black faces.
Yeah.
And all I want to do is come and help with the cause. I don't want to worry about the crowd. I don't want to worry about if a white racist person is going to try to lynch or do something to me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And yes, they're still hanging people from trees,
Yep.
Yeah.
as we saw.
Yep.
What was that? A year ago, 2 years
I thought
ago?
Yep.
I seen something recently. I could have swore
Yeah.
I just seen something recently
Oh wow.
Yep.
about some
And then
a young boy or something like that.
Oh wow.
yes. And then I don't want to worry about some black person shooting me or beating me up because I'm out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
something has to change. And, for the people that are watching now and will watch later, and if you are straight, you got to understand. If you understand the fear of when you see a white person that you don't know and you don't know how they're going to behave towards you, imagine feeling that way about a white or a black person.
Hmm.
That's the LGBTQ experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're afraid of you and we're afraid of them.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So magnify that. So we got to do something about that. Maybe we could create something. I know it's going to be a long shot because I don't think a lot of black people are going to want to be involved.
Attended. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. Shout
Yeah.
out for Pastor C for the wonderful work he's doing in Philly. He's actually trying to change the way people look at the Bible,
Mm.
and which is a great idea. If you can change that, then you might have we might have a win. We might have a
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
So I think that's great what
Yeah.
Pastor C is doing. We need more of that. But yeah, I don't know about y'all, but I'm just afraid. I'm like, the way this world is going,
Yeah.
how are we gonna handle? I mean, gay rights, they may try to challenge that,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
you
You know they
know.
are. You know they
Yep.
are. You know that's the next thing on the list.
Yep. And I had somebody that actually reached out to us, and I've been, speaking with her back and forth about how we could put something together. Because she said she's, afraid and she's scared that her LGBT friends that are married, and she says she's not married, but she's scared for her
Right.
LGBT friends that are married. What can happen? What things are in place to secure anything, something. You know,
Right.
the wills and things of that nature. Life insurance and everything. Not everybody has that, so. I told her that's something that I definitely want to put together with her, and we can try to come up with something because I have a lot of friends that are married as well, and I have some that are about to get married.
Mhm.
So we don't know what's going to happen between now and the next few weeks, few months, and
Yeah.
yeah, I
Right.
have a
Well, the
couple of friends that are
financial
getting married.
seminar.
Yeah, so I said,
Mhm.
we need
Oh,
to definitely put some things in place and
Yeah.
work on you know something.
that
So
is true.
And let the community
That
know
is
that they
true.
do need to get them wills. They do need to get the power of attorneys or whatever paperwork that is needed
hmm
for you to be able to do whatever you need to do if anything
yeah,
changes, um, to protect your wife, your husband, or whatever, the girlfriend, fiance, whatever you got to do.
yeah,
Make sure y'all get that paperwork done.
yeah.
Because with me, I work in a doctor's office, and even with straight people, it doesn't matter because we have gay, lesbian, we have straight people that come in all walks of life.
hmm
Um, I always tell them, we always tell them, because you have to have HIPAA information for us to give you information if you're not the patient.
hmm
And for that, do your paperwork because
Yep.
anything can happen to you. And if you don't have, like, a lot of us in the community don't have that family to fall back on.
hmm
So sometimes
Right.
it's just our partner.
Yeah.
And if that information is not put in, they will not give you information. They won't even let you see the person sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you gotta put that paperwork into whatever you need to do.
And they will reach out to that family member that you haven't heard from in 10 to
Yep,
15 years. That
Yep. I
never,
yep.
was just thinking that.
That
they will.
family member that hates you, they
They
gonna
will.
call that one.
They will. They will. Yes, they
Yes.
will.
Yep.
So,
And that
yeah.
person that get all, if something, God forbid, we don't want anyone to die, but in death,
Right.
that person will reap the benefits
hmm
of your life,
Yep.
a
Yep.
life that they didn't even want to be involved in.
Part of.
So,
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
it's just, again, it goes back to say it's a lot when it comes to us, and it's
Yeah.
triple when you're black.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot of disadvantages, but we gonna change things. It's gonna
Yeah.
change, but we gotta. I truly. I mean, do you guys think it's important that we have a better relationship? Being LGBTQ and black with the black community, is that
I think
even
it's very
important?
important.
Yeah.
I think it's in a lot of things too. I think it's not understanding, not exactly knowing,
The fear of
scared of the not knowing
the fear.
what
Yeah.
what we're about. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people think it's just a sexual thing and it's not. We're people. We're in
Mhm.
relationships. Like it's not about sex. You know what I'm saying? That's not
Yep.
what we're about. We're people, we're
Yeah.
regular people just like you. We just
Mhm.
like the same sex
Yep.
or whatever the situation may be. That's
And
it.
it's
So,
funny
I
because
mean,
I'll have people that'll reach out to me or see me in the street or say something on my Facebook page, and they're like, "Oh my God, I love seeing you and your wife. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are this. Y'all are that." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I just want y'all to know that we are regular, everyday people. Like, I like to cuss out." The person that was, cutting off in front of me too. Like, I do the
right,
same thing you do. Like, I
right,
pay taxes and I want to be cussing out Uncle Sam too, but
right. Yes,
like I raised this child, and I wanted to hurt her for the coloring on her shirt. So yes, we are
right.
regular everyday people. But I want y'all to see
Yeah.
that we live a regular life just like you. Just a
Mhm.
regular everyday life just like you. We all get up, go to work, and we all pay taxes. Don't none of us
Yeah,
want to pay taxes. So hey, we all
that's
got
it.
something in common. None of us want to
Yep.
pay
Exactly.
taxes. So I
Yep.
want you to see the things that we do. We have love too. We love each other. We want to have a good life, a happy life just the same way
Mhm.
you do too. So
Yep.
there's not much of a difference other than who's in my bedroom and who's in yours. And I don't care who's in yours. You
Exactly.
should care who's in mine. So
Yep. That's
it's
it.
crazy. It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
agree. But
Yeah.
it's the world's business.
Mhm.
It's the world's
Mhm.
business who you sleep with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the government is going to control who you sleep with and control how
Yes.
your
Yeah.
house runs
Yes. And everything else they trying to control. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
and control your benefits. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think this was a good topic. I think people will watch this later and be prepared to see the comments of people say,
Right.
well, I felt this way and that way and that way.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything to
Yes.
conclude? Like, is being black and LGBTQ? Is it hard? Is it? What do you just? What do you think?
Mm.
I had a conversation with a lady today that came past, and she saw my my shirt that said "straight out of the closet," and she just was like, "My daughter, she need to come out." And I'm like, "Here's a flyer," and I gave her a flyer. I said, "Here's a flyer." I gave her a flyer because it was sitting right there, and she just was like, "I want to learn more." She said, "Because I am accepting of her." Even though she hasn't told me yet. And I told you, I said, well, maybe she's, scared of coming out to you because she doesn't think that you will maybe either love her or how you're
Right.
going to respond, but just constantly just reassure her. And I said, if you have a hard time, I said, just reach out to me. I said, my information is below. I said, our website is here. I said, come out and learn more about us. Maybe we can help you, and your daughter, but
Mhm.
don't push her. Let her you know do her thing and come out, or
Right.
or if you feel as though that she slightly came out because she like, oh
Right.
wait, come out. I'm like, well, oh, okay, well, let's give you a flyer. So I told her, I said, we do a lot of educational seminars and things that you can come out and you can learn so much about the community. I said, because it's parents like you is what we really need. We
Mhm.
really need
Right.
parents like you to show that yes, this is my child. I love my child regardless of whatever the case may be. So, but you as a parent, she wants to learn things in the lingo and what to say, what not to say. So, yeah, come on out to an IME event. Yes,
And
come on out
that's
and learn.
why, yeah,
Come on.
that's why I'm glad to be a part of IME because they are. I'm even learning things. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And I'm in the community, and I'm even learning things. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So I'm
Yep.
glad that I'm a part of it, and I'm glad that Pete, brought this out because it's needed. And
Yeah.
then, you'll find eventually, I think the more and more we get out, you may find more people coming that are straight, that are black, to
Mm-hmm.
find out what we're talking about so they can learn. Because, like I said before, it's the not knowing, I think, is what is having people not wanting to be involved
Mm-hmm.
or being having discrimination against us and things like that. But I think that what IME is doing with the teaching aspect of it and having like you did for the me seminar, the different letters coming out and explaining, I mean, what they're about, explaining things that they've been through, different things like that. I think that's very helpful
Yeah.
to people that don't understand, that don't know
Yeah.
anything about the community at all.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm grateful, and I know he wants to expand out to other cities and states and stuff like that, which I think would be great because I don't even know if any other city and states have that type of corporation that is doing teaching. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, I definitely think it's great. So I'm looking forward to, you know, for IME to expand
Yeah.
everywhere so we could try to get these folks to learn and understand that we're
Mm-hmm.
regular people just like you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we gave a lot of information tonight. Just in closing, I am a firm believer through if you could change your heart, you could change your mind. And that's
Mm-hmm.
only going to happen through education. I think we could pass 1,000,001 bills. It's just not going to cut it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We want to reach people on an everyday level. Now, I feel like we have a stronger possibility of training people about accepting LGBTQ before we actually will actually end racism.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. It's
yeah, because
sad, but yeah.
that's what is that, like over a 300, 500 year institution that started in the
Hmm.
1600s. So
Mm-hmm.
we got a long way to go with that.
Yeah.
But I do believe we can kind of change the LGBTQ portion. And
Mm-hmm.
I think if we educate on that, then is a strong possibility the black community could really come together. Now, of course, we have other differences that we have to work out, but at
Mm.
least the orientation part will be off the table.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
strength in numbers,
That's what, yeah.
and our community is dwindling our numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really need to come together, but I thank y'all for joining me. Hopefully, we can have this
Thank you.
conversation again with other
Yeah.
people that's willing to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These are touchy topics,
Yep. Very touchy.
but I mean, they need to be had.
Hmm.
Yes.
But, but y'all, you know what? Y'all have a good night. Hopefully, y'all will join me next week and we could come up with another great topic. What would y'all want to talk about? If y'all came next week, what would you talk about?
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Oh no.
We gonna hit
Um, I don't know. I gotta think on it.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
How do you just bring the community together? Like, what else
yeah.
can we do? What do y'all need for us to do so
Yeah.
everybody literally just come together?
Hmm.
What can we
Yeah.
do? Yeah.
I already have ideas about that, but that is a great topic.
Yeah.
We have to work on each
We know you do,
community.
P. Your mind be going.
Yeah, you got to work on each piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as this topic tonight, black and LGBTQ, we got to bring those two pieces together.
Mhm.
And then
Mm.
we can work on getting work on the other races, coming
Everybody
together with
else.
other races. We got to get right with ourselves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because what we
Yes.
got going on here ain't right.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And black YouTube is getting on my nerves with
Yeah.
this conspiracy of all of us trying to turn everybody out, and we don't
Oh
need y'all over
Lord.
here.
Mm-mm. We
We
full.
don't we don't want that.
We
Them
full.
them them ones that's curious and they want to play like they ain't. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep your
Cause
baby daddy, baby mama. Y'all stay over there.
Mhm.
We have
Yeah.
enough
right.
issues.
We are full
Yeah.
over here. Very full. Ain't no more applications. We like what they call it, like a lie heap and all those other old.
Yeah.
It's like the application is closed.
Yeah. That's it.
Yep.
Closed. So yeah. Yeah.
But send me that topic when we can if y'all join me next week, we could talk about that. But I do have a long list of ways that can happen. But
Yeah.
you know
Okay.
us, black, we gotta put the work in. And
Yeah.
that's one of the major things about us. And I don't like to bring up historical stuff, but
Hmm.
that's one of our strongest issues is
Yeah.
accountability and putting the work in. We
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't want to accept the things that our forefathers have done to create this madness, you know.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to be say that we are the original man, then that means we had to create the original sin and the original issues of the world. But we don't want
Yeah.
to accept that.
Nope.
Right.
So,
Yep.
but y'all have a good night. Thank y'all.
Yes.
Hopefully
You
somebody will
too.
watch this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having
Uh,
us.
See y'all
Yeah.
Thursday.
All
All
right.
right.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night. Well, that was the Peach Radio Show. For those of you guys that's watching now and will watch later, I love just having candid conversations. I thought this was a great one being LGBTQ and black. It wasn't really meant for you to write a dissertation on it or do a paper for school. It was just about us sharing experiences, and hopefully someone could find some of the stuff relatable. And if you are a heterosexual person, just for you to understand the day-to-day life of, the daily life, how it feels to be us and the things that we go through. If you missed it, a lot of it with us is fear. And fear can cause so many issues, depression, mental disease, just different kinds of issues. And no one should live in fear. No one should have to worry about if I go outside with my significant other and, risk, am I going to be harmed? No one should worry about going to work and talking about their family and losing everything. In my case, no one should have to go through a court case and need a preferred judge for their particular issue. These things are not normal, and it shouldn't occur, and it shouldn't be things that we should have to worry about. It's already hard enough to be black in America and face all the discrimination that we face. Give us a break and let's let the other piece go. Um, the LGBTQ piece. At least in, our very own community. Maybe we can get some more acceptance. Tonight was great. We talked about cancel culture. We talked about being black and how we're represented in the media. We talked about workplace. We talked about several different things. I hope if you watched, you enjoyed it. I hope if you're going to watch it later, you enjoyed it. Maybe we'll revisit this topic. I thought it was great. A lot of great information. We discussed IME. For more information, that's the LGBTQ nonprofit located in Delaware. IMEcorp.org. Go on the website. It's a lot of educational events that anyone could benefit from. LGBTQ, heterosexual. The real term is ally, but I doubt a lot of people even know that terminology. So if you're interested in learning about the alphabet lettering, please check out imecorp.org. Also, you could check out my website, peachent.com. I have a masquerade and mingle party coming up in October. It's all girls. It's a networking mixer with a lot of moving pieces in it. In order to come, you have to register, and I will send you the link via email for you to purchase your ticket. It's going to be great. It's going to be three-course meal, catered food, and possibly a surprise guest. And this will be an event that's going to be possibly happen 3 to 4 times a year. So I'm excited about that. And no, all the parties will not be girls only. So yeah, I'm about to get off. If you are a artist, rap artist, or have a business or anything that I can play, some type of recording, please send it in to me. I will play it on here for free. It's free advertisement. I'm not asking for a dime. I'm just a supporter of our community because, like I said on here, if you are African American, you probably get less than 50% support. When you become African American and LGBTQ, that lessens probably down to 15%. And when you're African American LGBTQ and then you become in the identity section, you probably get less than 10% of support. And a lot of us create little side businesses, so this is my way of giving back in addition to the nonprofit that I founded. So you guys check out the two websites that I suggested, imecorp.org and peachent.com. I love y'all. I will see y'all next week. I hope you enjoyed the show. Bye.